Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today I'm going to show you how to change out the climate control knobs, the trim rings around the climate control knobs, and that bar that goes across the middle. All right, if you do have the setup where you have the 3 knobs, you just won't have that bar in the middle. Instead, you'll have that 3rd knob. So, all right, so I'm going to mention it again. In all my AJT videos I'm mentioning, I did do a complete video on how to take the dash apart, how to get at these panels. So if you did not see that, I will link it down below. All right, so feel free to check that out if you're not sure how to get these panels out. So to get at those knobs, all you're going to do is flip it over. There's 6 Phillips head screws. We're going to go ahead and take those out. Once you have them 6 screws out, you can go ahead and pop the back panel off. It's just held on by some tabs. Free those tabs up. Set that piece aside. Now you're going to be looking at the circuit board itself. There's going to be 1, 2, 3 Phillips head screws to remove the circuit board. Just pay attention to how it's in there. You can't really put it in wrong, but just, you know, want to pay attention to what you're doing. So go ahead and remove those 3 Phillips head screws. Once you have these 3 Phillips head screws removed, you can go ahead and take the circuit board out. Just carefully set it aside. There is the screen on the front, so just be careful. Set it on something soft. I have the bed rug in the back of my truck, so I don't have to worry about it. That'll give you access to the interior components. So you can then take this piece off and you'll have access to the knobs and then the trim rings down here. So let's start with the knobs. Okay, to get the knobs off, basically just take a tiny little screwdriver or something, you know, similar, and you can see there's little slots in here. You can see the slots all around it. You're just going to want to pry, gently pry around those tabs, and it'll pop up for you. Spin it and just keep popping up around it until the knob just comes off. To get the new AJT knobs on, you can see it's a very similar setup. There's just slots in it, so just line it up and pop it into place. Like so. All right, so that's all there is to doing the knobs. All right, guys, sorry about that. It was getting kind of windy outside the garage, so we moved inside. I didn't want the wind picking up too much on the camera there. So once you get the climate control knobs done themselves, you're going to come over to the other piece here to get the trim rings and that bar, or the 3 trim rings if you have 3 knobs. Flip it over. You're going to see these clear plastic rings. They're held in by a few tabs. So take something small here, like your small flathead screwdriver, and just kind of work around. The easiest way I found to get these out is if you take your finger and pull one of the tabs back, and then take your screwdriver and work it underneath the middle here. You can usually get it to pop up pretty easily. There we go. And then once you have a couple popped out, it'll usually come out a little bit easier. So there you can see it. Just be careful. Again, they're small plastic pieces. You don't want to break them. So, all right, so just go ahead and repeat the steps for the other one over here. Okay, once you get those plastic rings out, the 2 of them there, you can see, let me flip it around so you can see it. There's silver tabs that hold the front trim rings in place, and then there's 2 tabs right here that hold that middle bar in place. Or if you have the 3 rings, it would just obviously be the 3 rings. So go ahead and pop those out. I think it's a little bit easier if you do the rings first. So just pop those tabs loose there. And you can see on the front, you can just kind of start working it around with your fingers as well. Once you have the 2 rings removed, then it's a little bit easier to work on that middle bar if you do have the bar. So again, there's just 2 tabs that hold that in place. So just go ahead and take your screwdriver and pop them loose, and that bar will come out like that. All right, so to get the new ones installed, you're literally just reversing your steps. So the piece from AJT, the middle bar, it does have a side that says top, so you just want to make sure you put that on the top, obviously. So go ahead and slide that in from the front. Like so. And you'll see on the back it'll clip into place. And then you can take your rings. Now pay attention to the rings, the new rings. They have a little slot on one side of them. When you're looking at the front, you're going to see where that slot is. On this side, it's actually on the top. So you're just going to take it, line up that slot, and push it into place. Like so. On this side, it's actually on the bottom. So find the slot on the ring. Hopefully you can see it there. And the slot right there. So just line those up and push it into place. All right, guys, so that's all there is to it. All right, so then we'll flip it back over, put the plastic rings back in, and then this piece is done. So then we'll go ahead and take these plastic rings, and when you're putting them back in, again, there's a side with a notch right there. The notch is right there. So just, again, make sure you want to line them up. As long as you line that notch up, you can't put them in wrong. And you'll hear and feel it click back into place. Same thing on the other side. You'll hear and feel it click into place there. Okay, the rest is just reversing your steps. So you're going to take the piece with the climate control knobs on it themselves, pop it back in like that, take the circuit board, line it back up like it went in. And again, you can't really put it in wrong. So set it down in there like that. Put the 3 screws back in the back of this, and then put the back cover on, and this piece is done. Okay, guys, there it is, finished product. I'm really liking the black knobs with the blue trim. We'll see how it looks, you know, once we get it back in the truck. I think it looks good with that blue Tundra on there as well. So as you can see, the back is all put back together. So that's ready to be put back in the truck. All right, thanks for watching. As always, guys, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. I will be doing a couple of these videos on the AJT products, shorter videos on how to get all these pieces installed. So again, feel free to watch my video on how to take the dash apart if you're not familiar with that. So I will put the link to that video down below, and you know, just a step-by-step tutorial on how to get the dash apart to get all these pieces out of the truck, make them a little bit easier to work on. So all right, so again, thanks as always, guys. I appreciate it. Please feel free to like the video. It does help the channel grow. So any questions, comments, concerns, put them down below and we'll get them addressed. Thanks again.